So Bad Bunny's performance is a perfect mirror for every culture war happening in the US right now.
Best Super Bowl halftime show ever.
Bad Bunny absolutely crushed his Super Bowl halftime performance.
For everyone saying that they were disappointed that Cardi B didn't show up, they just weren't looking good enough.
A surprise appearance, but I know that ain't who I think it is. What made me make the ultimate heel turn reversal on card was when I saw Jessica Alba on that fucking stage dancing. This went from easily the worst Super Bowl of all time to potentially the greatest Super Bowl I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Every year people watch the same performance, but they don't see the same things.
What I really want to say about, especially this Super Bowl and the last Super Bowl, is the production, the storytelling that's going on. We start off in the fields and show our people's culture. And you got folks mad when you got Bad Bunny on top of a fucking truck.
I was so excited to see what he might do for this monumental moment. I am still completely moved by what we saw.
This was probably one of the best Super Bowl halftime shows in recent memory. He didn't really have as much of that political angle as I thought he would. He just really made it about having fun.
Some will say Bad Bunny represents global creativity, queerness, borderless music, and a younger generation that isn't afraid of fluidity or bilingual expression. Others will say he represents moral decline, an attack on tradition, or a threat to whatever version of America they grew up imagining. And that is my point.
I mean, the opening tying in the culture, the roots, and the history of Puerto Rico. Obsessed. A performance of a salsa version of Die With a Smile by Lady Gaga. I could have fainted.
Not only was it fun to have so many cameos like Lady Gaga performing, Ricky Martin performing, Karol G, Cardi B, Pedro Pascal, so many people in the background. The symbolism and overall message was just so unbelievably well done.
He even had Lady Gaga up there doing a beautiful Latin rendition of her song. And I think that's extremely important because Lady Gaga is a white girl and she's down for the cause. And I'm not gonna lie and sugarcoat it. There is nothing stronger than a white woman voicing her opinions on the wrongdoings of this country. She's more important than people believe she is. And to bring out Ricky Martin, that is something I did not see coming. But I'm glad he did. I'm glad that he was able to give Ricky Martin his flowers because Ricky Martin is a legend.
People are not reacting to the performance itself. They're reacting to the story they've been taught about who counts, who belongs, and who gets to take up that much space on the biggest stage in America. So when a Puerto Rican artist sings in Spanish at the center of a national ritual, it touches something deep. And for some people, that's pride and recognition, but for other people, that's fear and confusion. That's because culture is shifting.
Y'all are really mad about this on the timeline? Shit, I would prefer this was on the timeline more often. You even had Ricky Martin up in this bitch. That's a legend right there, you understand?
When he said God bless America and all of the flags came out and he started listing all of the countries in the Americas, I started bawling. And the football that said together we are America. Or his final message being the only thing more powerful than hate is love. The whole thing was just incredible. Also, just like objectively, visually, it was super cool. I could truly talk about this for hours. I was moved so deeply, and if I was this moved, I can only imagine what something like this meant to other people.
And you even had wholesome moments like him giving his Grammy to this little kid. Look how happy he is. That's a moment that's gonna be solidified in his life forever.
Shift always exposes old anxieties. So this performance was a battleground. This country is trying to figure out what it's becoming. Identity is changing, power is changing, representation is continuing to stretch past those old boundaries. So if tonight felt electric or uncomfortable or inspiring or chaotic, that reaction says something about the moment we're all living in. Now, I know this is entertainment, but I also know it's a snapshot of a country negotiating who we are.
And then closing out the show with not only fireworks, but this banner that says the only thing more powerful than hate is love. I mean, what a message.
Of course, he ended it in the best way possible, with the only thing more powerful than hate is love. As he listed off all, I understand Spanish, but I could barely understand Bad Bunny. But I was still in that motherfucker like, oh yeah, my shoulders work too, baby. Ooh!
Hey.